Hello, I'm Gilles Thibault from HP. I'm leading Hybrid Cloud Sales, and I've got with me today Nicolas Sekaki.
Hello.
Who is leading the cloud practice at Kyndryl.
Yeah, absolutely.
Welcome, Nicolas.
So happy to be here with you, Gilles.
Yeah, likewise. So, Nicolas, we know each other for long, right? And I know you are very customer-centric. You're on the road all the time. You're meeting tons of customers. So what are you seeing in the market right now?
Look, we see a lot of innovation. You know, we had generative AI, agentic AI. But at the end of the day, what really strikes me is that customer, they like the cloud, but they like also their private environment. And what they want is a cloud experience anywhere. And basically, it is about allowing the developers, the data engineers, the AI developers, to be able to have an environment that is flexible, that allow them to express the innovation without caring where it runs. And therefore, it's a little bit bringing back the whole innovation that happened on the cloud native, on-prem, and being able to recreate this environment, a cloud experience for anybody. And that completely changed our mindset about how we enable innovation pretty quickly.
How are you helping the customer actually achieving that agility in that cloud experience?
Look, Kyndryl is the biggest IT infrastructure provider on the planet. And what we do really, really well is we're running mission-critical applications for our customers. It used to be application, but now it's data, it's AI. So when we look at what we're providing to the customers, and when we speak about the cloud experience, we need to ensure that, for example, on the private cloud, we are rebuilding a stack which is compatible with what happened on the cloud, and provide all the platforms that are going to enable to seamlessly operate. And we have to manage the complexity in a simple way for the customers. So integration of private cloud, redefining what a private cloud is, building it, implement it, and then making sure that we have a continuum between the legacy, where maybe you have your data, your private cloud where you're going to have your developers, and then the cloud where you're going to do some of the innovation. And building this continuum is really where the customer wants us to do. So we consult, we have a point of view. Obviously, we're an integrator, so it's the customer might say, I want this technology or this technology, but they're looking at us, having a point of view about how best serve their business needs. That's what we do the best.
Excellent, excellent.
And what about you?
Well, listen, I think if you think about us, right, HP, we are really a platform company. That's the way we're looking at things. Everything we sell, all the solutions we bring to the market are connected to that platform. And the importance of the platform is that we want to provide that unified cloud experience to our customers, regardless of where the workload resides. Another area where we've invested a lot is building an hybrid cloud ops platform. And we've been discussing that a lot, which is something which includes observability with OpsRamp, but also a cloud management platform with Morpheus, for example.
Security.
Exactly, and security on top. And our focus is also because we know it's an open world, so it's really multi-cloud, multi-vendor as well. We've got a very broad private cloud portfolio for distributed environment, for the data center, and recently as well, as you know, we launched Private Cloud for AI, which is a dedicated private cloud solution for the AI inference workloads.
And we are very excited by the innovation you're bringing here, because it's a platform. At the end of the day, you know, when we want to consume infrastructure, we want to have a software-defined infrastructure, we have platform engineering. So all the components that you are bringing together, it is for us a way to really bring value to the customer sooner. So what we're building together is a point of view. How can we implement, you know, they all want to have business outcome as fast as possible. So combining the two is really important. And you spoke about AI, and I think it is really interesting to see how agentic AI is going really, really fast. But when we speak about AI, what we see as the most scenario is customers need to use a public cloud to get the innovation, the ecosystem, but they're going to do the training with synthetic data because they can't put their data and their IP on the cloud. But then when it's going to come to running it at a cost, efficiency, with sovereignty of the data, they're going to do the inference on-prem. We need to make sure that the data is connected between the legacy, the integration of your platform on AI, and what's gone to the cloud. So it's point of view, integration, and then running it through the...
Yeah, absolutely. And Private Cloud for AI is, I think the way you explain it is exactly what we're trying to achieve. So what makes this partnership unique?
Look, it is about bringing value to the customers. It is having the same vision about what needs to be done. And then it's the way we work together. And I'm really excited because HPE and Kyndryl, we are pretty close on what we want to do and how we're going to do it together.
I think there is a perfect match, which I think is fundamental in terms of the vision on the market. There is a lot of complementarity between the technological stack we're offering and your capabilities. And I think last but not least, what makes this truly special is that I think Kyndryl is really unique, as you said, in its ability to manage the complexity of multi-generational customer environment, of the largest customers in the world, actually. And at the same time, doing it in a way that, as you said, I think guarantees the mission criticality and the agility that the customer wants. So I think it's just a fantastic partnership.
We're so glad about it.
Thank you, Nicolas.
Thank you, Gilles.
Thank you.